My brother, 15M, has been lying about my 25M life to my conservative, estranged parents, made fake Instagram. Okay, I'll try to make this quick, but there's a lot and I'm freaking the F out. I grew up a Jehovah's Witness. If you don't know, JW are extremely conservative to an insane degree. I wasn't allowed to read Harry Potter, if that makes sense. And my parents were not lax or exceptions for my children type. Extremely devout people. And I'm gay. When I was 16, I was outed horribly by my sister, who found some gay porn that I didn't delete from my computer history. My family, of course, flipped out and demanded I either seek conversion therapy or get out. Luckily for me, my aunt had also defected from the church, so I was able to move in with her, far away. My parents and sister immediately wanted nothing to do with me. But my brother was 6. He was too young to really grasp what was going on and had no phone or social media or anything, so I couldn't contact him. I honestly just assumed he drank the same end as Nye Kool-Aid and never sought him out. Earlier this year, I got a message from him on Facebook. It was a gigantic apology for not saying goodbye properly, and that he really wanted me back in his life. Clicking through his profile, I didn't see any JW proselytizing like my sisters, just pics of him and his friends being normal teens. I was beyond happy. I messaged him back, we FaceTimed, cried, he caught me up a little in his life and I caught him up a little in mine. And from there we started texting regularly. I am very, very happy about all this. But he was still living under my parents' roof, and was still heavy in JW culture. I was nervous about this. He always reaffirmed that he only called/texted when he wasn't in the house, or around other JW, and reaffirmed that he thought the church was awful. Last week something weird happened. I got an email from my mother. It was a picture from a recent Dells trip she had taken with my family and another JW family. Years of no contact, then this. What the F? I spent days talking this out with my friends before it occurred to me that my brother might have something to do with this. I brought up the email to my brother when I called him yesterday, barely hinting at my suspicions at all, and he unloaded. He had been lying to my parents. He said that I contacted him apologizing and was desperate to get back in contact with the witnesses again, but was too ashamed. But the kicker is he made a fake Instagram to show them. He plucked all the G-rated pictures from my various social medias and filled it in with captions about how devout I am, how happy I am to have refound God's light, etc. He had taken pictures of me and my best friend, Julie, and added captions like the love of my life, my bride-to-be, etc. like holy shit. He seemed already remorseful of this ploy, but that he was in too deep to stop now. Now, he didn't say as much, but the obvious implication here is that he thought he could get my family back together. But this isn't a effing sitcom or the birdcage. He's catfishing his very emotionally unstable and religious zealot parents into thinking their outcast son was reconverting. I have no intentions of being in their life ever again, but I'd like to remain in my brother's life, and I don't want this incident to scare him off or sever the small bits of contact we have now. So what do? I will not be contacting my parents, nor will I pretend to be straight. Obviously, I need to tell him to close the account and stop talking about me to them, but what else, if anything? Update 1. Thank you all for your illuminating comments. I'm honestly overwhelmed at the response and apologize for not replying much, it was so much. But I'd like to specifically thank Reddit user for his comment, which suggested that this was not him trying to rope me back in, but him trying to escape the cult. You were exactly right. Today we talked for the first time since our conversation. He took down the Insta after our conversation, which I hadn't noticed at the time of writing the post, haha, and I gently asked why, exactly, he did this. He's 15, so he didn't quite have the language to say I'm being abused and need to leave the JW. What he said, instead, was that mom and dad are crazy and he's become disillusioned with the cult. He even used the word cult. He still believes in God and wants to explore different sects of Judeo-Christianity. My hometown is a small place in the Midwest, and everyone knows who the JW are, they're like those people. So he couldn't covertly go to another service without someone recognizing him and it getting back to my parents. His motive was pretty much what another Redditor said. He said he wants to visit, hang out, and explore the religions around Chicago, but the only way my parents would allow him to leave town is if they knew exactly where he was, who he was with the whole time, etc. So in his head, propping me up as converted was the only way to make it happen. I told him I was completely uncomfortable with that, and that my relationship with my parents is over. He apologized, and pretty much already knew the logistical problems. I think this was a very maturing ordeal for him. I established myself as a lifeline. I told him that if it ever gets too much, I will pay for his train ticket and he can stay with me for as long as he likes, even moving in for the remainder of high school. And I mean it, I have enough space, and my aunt will help with childcare/extra expenses. He seemed apprehensive, but the thought's out there, and he now seems comfortable enough to vent about the church/my parents/my crazy-ass sister directly. As for my parents, I just told him to cold turkey stop talking about me. If they ask, and this was suggested by Julie, my bride-to-be, he will tell them that I might have refound Christianity but I have no intentions to return to the Watchtower, and that he stopped talking to me. Leaving JW for any reason is grounds for excommunication. And I put my actual Insta on private, in case they go looking. They might think I'm not gay, might now have the sliver of hope that I'll return to them, but that's honestly not my fucking problem. And for the guys who suggested this was a honeypot, no. No 15-year-old can act this well. He's so full of love and kindness, and as fucked up as his plan was, it was at the end of the day because he is panicking in a toxic environment. Thank you all, again. My brother is back in my life, and I now have the means to help him. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Another Redditor commented. I'm so glad that he kept the line of communication open, that the two of them have access to each other still, especially since their sister is so stuck. I really empathized with him mentioning the internet connecting him to the world outside the cult. I grew up in an cult-adjacent evangelical church and it was the same for me. Comment 2. Going along with the lie sounds like the thing to do in theory, but no way in hell the parents would just let the younger son go stay with the older without so much as a phone call. But that's thought-through plan of a 15-year-old. Here's hoping the kid gets out. Story 2 Whipda if I disown my parents after my mom refused to take care of me after I give birth? Throwaway account, and my English writing is really bad. Please bear with me. So I 28F, am 30 weeks pregnant with my first child and am about to move to another state, and mom has this thing where she takes care of my siblings when they give birth until they recover. She has done it for my older sister and my brother's wife, so I thought that she would do the same thing with me too, but a week ago she told me that she couldn't because it is too far away. We got into a fight about the whole thing, and I told her to get out of my house, and now we are not talking. Before you judge me and say that my mom isn't obligated to take care of me, I will tell you that it isn't about mom taking care of me. It was never about that. I am that one child in the family who nobody really cares about. My parents always claim that they love and treat us all equally, but man, is it obvious that they love me a little bit less than the others. I always thought that maybe I am adopted and that's why they don't care about me that much. Well, I am wrong because I am 100% theirs. It is always about how my other siblings are doing or how mom and dad are suffering, but it is never about me. It was never about me from the beginning. I am rarely celebrated even if it is supposed to be my day. My birthdays? They rarely celebrated because mom and dad forgot, or they just threw everything in the house and called it a birthday. High school graduation party? Nope, my parents have already wasted a lot of money for my big brother's college graduation party, so they can't do that, but they will make sure to make it up to me. Do you think that ever happened? I will give you a minute or two. If you guess no, then congrats, you guessed right. Yay. They share the wedding expenses of my siblings' wedding, but since my husband came from a good family, they don't have to share wedding expenses, not my words. I have always been the therapist who listens to my mom and dad's rough day, or the one who needs to help mom because my older siblings have a lot of school work to do or because my younger siblings are too young to do that kind of work. They always tell me that I am a good daughter, but I am never the one who they brag about to their friends. I did everything in my power to make them proud, but my achievements will always be below my siblings. I have tried to talk to them about how I feel multiple times before, but the only thing I get is a hard scolding about how I was getting spoiled. I hated my life until I got out of that house, but I never had the courage to let go of them, thinking that they would change. Well, my mom just proved me wrong. Mind you that my older sister lives a whole ass ocean away from you, but mom decided that taking a 10+ hour flight to another continent twice was not hard at all, but all of a sudden, and taking a 4-hour ride to my home was too much? Especially when I am in a place where I don't know anyone except my husband. I'm so fucking tired of them putting everyone else above me. So, I will make things right between us until I leave because I don't want to end things on a bad note, and when I get to my new house, I will just cut all contact between us. I don't think that I have the energy to do all of this crap anymore, and besides, I have my lovely husband with me, so I will be alright and build myself a new family where I am truly appreciated and loved for who I am. Note: I am the third out of 5 children. My younger siblings are twins. Top comments. NTA. Tell her you can't keep in touch, it is too far away. NTA. Yes, I agree with you. Make nice with your mom while you're visiting this time and minimize contact when you get back to your own home. It could be that your mother wants you to beg and plead, "Oh mommy, pretty please, come help me, I need you," but my reaction is F that game playing. Put your energy on your husband and build a new support network where y'all live now. Wait, 4 hours? Imta, I was thinking you're talking about the other side of the country or something. My god, wild horses wouldn't keep me away, and I'm so sorry they're ruining this for you. I was that sibling on the outside, too. But don't worry, your partner and child will be all the family you need. Update. Hello. First, I would like to thank everyone for their kind advice. I was honestly shocked when I saw all of these messages. I really appreciate it. Revolving hearts. A lot has happened since my last post. I tried to call my parents, but they blocked and I couldn't reach them, but I was determined on getting the closure that the younger version of me wanted. So I called my older brother and I asked him if we could meet up and talk about the situation. He told me that he won't meet up with me after what I've done to our mother, and he berated me, saying that I was an ungrateful person and that mom is in a lot of stress and pain because of me. I told him that it wasn't fair for him to just assume that I was the villain and that he couldn't even understand my point of view because they didn't treat him like they treated me my whole life. He knew that they treated me like their personal chef, maid and therapist for years, but they couldn't even give me the love and attention that I wanted for once in my whole damn life. He basically screamed at me through the phone that I was a piece of trash for saying that, and that mom and dad treated us all equally, but I was just a damn narcissist who can't think about anyone but myself. I tried to talk, but my emotions got the better of him and I started breaking down on the phone and he hung up on me. I even started asking myself if I was really the narcissist that my family seemed to think of me. But my husband came to the rescue and helped me through all of this, but the doubt that maybe I was in the wrong still lingered in my head. I guess my brother told my parents that I called him because Dad called about 2 days after that and asked me to meet up at their house. I was about to say no, but I couldn't because his voice was filled with remorse, so I thought that maybe, just maybe, we could get past the whole thing and I could drop the thought of cutting contact even if my mom doesn't want to help out. After like 3 days of talking to my dad, me and my husband went to their house to talk. I thought that it was going to be me, my husband and my parents talking, but they invited my brother and his wife. As soon as we sat, my dad started talking about how disappointed he was with me and that things shouldn't have led to this. I told him that he was right, things shouldn't have escalated to be where they are now, but I assumed that since mom helped take care of my sister and my brother's wife, she would do the same, but she just favored everyone else above me, and it was frustrating. I told them about how I felt for the past years, and I told them everything that I said to you guys. But all of them acted like they didn't care, which honestly hurt like hell. I knew at that moment that I didn't mean anything to them, so why was I fighting to be a part of a family that didn't want me? My husband was going to speak, but I told him not to. Everyone gave their opinions about it, basically blaming me, and then Dad asked me if I wanted to say anything to Mom. I told her that I was sorry because I didn't want any type of bad blood between us before I close this chapter and move on with my life, but she didn't say anything back, and Dad said that we needed some time cooling off and setting some boundaries, and I guess that was it between us. In the next 2 weeks we were packing and leaving the state. I didn't tell anyone about where my new house will be. Only once I got there and settled down did I write a long message about everything they did and how I felt, and at the end of the message I told them that I was completely cutting contact with my parents and older brother. I changed my phone number and blocked all of my family from my social media. And you know what? My life has never been this peaceful in a long time. I am happy about everything and my baby will arrive any day now. It is honestly stressing, but I love it so much. We hired a helper around the house because why not? Now my day consists of sleep, take a walk, eat some more, have back and hip pains, and repeat, which honestly isn't that bad. Thank you for reading. Please subscribe to storychan for more stories.